You can beat 99% of people without being smarter or luckier, but by being willing to endure pain and uncertainty for longer. It's hard for you, it's hard for everyone else. And most people avoid hard things, which is why you can beat most people by just trying and continuing to try. And the main thing is that I think most people don't even know what trying feels like. Layla and I have been going through this season, so it hasn't just been me. And she had a mentor say something to her that she told me, and I really liked it. She said, hey, we had this difficult situation, and, we're kind of relegated to, this option or this option, and neither of the options were particularly good. And she said to Layla, are you settling or are you moving mountains? And I really like that. Because whenever I'm looking at these choices that I feel sometimes feel bad, I'm like, is there another option that I could see if I move the fucking mountain? And that has just dramatically increased the willingness to work, to really try. I keep thinking to myself okay, well, if I was going to get killed, or Layla was going to get killed, or people I cared about were going to die if I didn't come up with another solution, or if I made the thing that I wanted to have happen, what other things would I do? And usually it's a lot more. Whatever way you have to unlock that level of trying, that level of effort, most things are hilariously easy to do. It's just more easy. It's easier to just do nothing. Most people do nothing and get nothing and are dissatisfied because their expectations that they would get something for that nothing of work. What's crazy is that the highest levels of effort are so rare amongst people that you can unlock most things in the universe with it by just really trying like your life depends on it. Because it does. Most of the time we know what we're supposed to do, we just have trouble doing it. You know what you need to do to get a six-pack. You know what you need to do to build muscle. People already know this. You don't need to know anything about training to do that. You just stop eating crap, maybe eat some protein, and add more weight to the bar over an extended period of time. That's it. That's all it is. You know that already. And yet you haven't begun because you haven't really tried. It's hilarious to me. It's apparently rarer to have a six-pack above age 30 than it is to be a millionaire. Think about how crazy that is. And don't cite the sources. I heard that and I believe it. Whatever, 9% of Americans have a net worth over $1 million. Surprising, right? 9% of Americans certainly don't have a six-pack. It's rarer to have a six-pack than be a millionaire. I think about that. It's we know what to do. It's just we're not willing to endure what it's required to get it. And we're not willing to reframe that pain as the price of the thing we want and to give our pain meaning. Fortunately or unfortunately, humans, we live in a competitive environment. We seek status because of, evolutionary backdrops. And so how do you beat other people? And I want to be clear. I don't really think you need to beat anybody, right? If you just beat you every day, you'll beat everybody by default. And I think that you'll get to the end of the race and realize no one else is really racing anyways. But the main is that you need to get out of. I had actually a conversation with somebody on my team this morning. They're saying they want to do this training for the department that they're in, and they wanted to talk about running on clean energy versus dark energy. And I was like, what does that mean? He's like, clean energy is you're going towards something, dark energy is you're running away from something. And I thought, I think that's a really good and noble idea. The problem is, no one's going to know what to do with that. Because what it really meant was, if you guys do your jobs using, quote, clean energy, or knowing when to use, quote, dark energy, you will be more effective. Okay, fine. Now we have conditions for a behavior. I asked him, I said, if you want this training to be significantly more effective, I need you to do two things. Number one is define what having clean energy looks like. How do I observe someone who has clean energy? What do? Do they talk differently? Do they ask different questions? Do they have different cadence? And to the same degree, having dark energy, does that mean you ask more times? You push back more often? Let's define this in terms of behavior. And then what we'll probably find is that there's no such thing as clean or dark energy. There's only behaviors that under certain conditions increase the likelihood of a positive outcome or a desired outcome. Okay, in these conditions, do this, and in other conditions, do that. And so then we can get away from these amorphous terms. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that we have to define everything in terms of the actions that you're going to take.